Okay, you ready?
I think so.
5, 6, 7, 8.
A 14-year-old girl takes a familiar walk home from school in a town that still believes it's safe. Minutes later, she's gone. And New Hampshire launches one of the largest missing person searches in state history. For 284 days, Abigail Hernandez is hidden in plain sight, locked inside a windowless container in the woods, controlled by threats, surveillance, and fear. But what keeps her alive isn't luck, it's strategy. In today's episode of Crisis and Consequences, we follow Abby's disappearance, the small choices that became lifelines, and the single ordinary clue that finally gave her captor a name.
Wow.
Welcome back to Crisis and Consequences, everybody. Podcast with a purpose. I'm Charity.
I'm KB.
Hi.
Hi.
Any crises you want to share?
Not really. No, we're just really busy. I thought, I thought things would kind of slow down in the summer months, but things are just busy.
Yeah.
So, but it's not really like a crisis, but sometimes for me, like, because I have to have some downtime to like reset, and the only downtime I get is work, but that's not really a downtime because you're busy.
Your
You're
brain's
not like
busy, yeah.
So, but yeah, so I'm trying to force myself different times to like try and read or whatever, but even that, like, goodness, I need to like run away.
Mine's
Take me
just
away,
dementia, and it's not my dementia. I mean, I think, obviously I've talked about my mother-in-law situation on the podcast, and she's killing me. Some of it's funny, some of it's just like frustrating, some of it's just like sad.
Mm-hmm.
But we took her to Deadwood last weekend for her birthday because she loves to gamble.
Okay.
But at this point, she doesn't remember she loves to gamble. She's just kind of like along for the ride and then just wants to go home and she's tired and, But I was so excited to go into her apartment because I had gotten her one of those amaryllis bulbs.
Oh, sure.
And I nurtured it for a couple of weeks before I took it to her so that it was, because she can't remember, like, this is a plant you don't water.
Right.
She overwaters everything.
Okay.
And then, like, if it wasn't blooming right away and it looks like an alien plant, I don't think she was going to. So I waited till just as it was blooming to take it to her.
Mm-hmm.
And again, she's got this little apartment in an assisted living facility. Like, you have to be really thoughtful of people with dementia, like, and they can't have a lot of stuff. Like, it's so I thought, oh, this is a perfect gift. So I, a week later or whatever, I go in and it's gone.
Oh.
I'm looking all over the place, like, because I got one from my assistant like 3 weeks ahead of that, 4 weeks ahead of that. That sucker's still blooming.
Okay. Pretty.
So it's been like 6 or 7 weeks now.
Yeah.
Thing's still going. So I was like, where the hell is it? So I asked her about it, and she's just like, oh, I don't know. She probably gave it to somebody, like.
Somebody probably came in and was like, oh, that's pretty. And she's like, oh, is it yours?
Yeah.
You can have it.
Yeah. So that's just one of those things. It's like, the things we've lost, brand new. Yeah. I just give up. But the funny thing, so we get her in the car, we're heading to Deadwood, and of course, pretty right away, she starts talking about these men hitting on her.
Oh.
And we've talked about the saga of the very, rambunctious men at this place. We don't know if it's true or not. I have no idea if it's true. But she tells us every single time. This time, however, she added the element of, I think I'm going to ask them what their net worth is. Well, what's your net worth? And I lost it. I'm like, Shirley. I'm like, you go, girl. She's like, that's right.
That's cute.
89 years old. Well, what's your net worth? So she's thinking about it now. The woman just cracks me up.
Oh, that's cute. I love
She's
that.
funny.
Yeah.
So
she sounds funny.
Anyway, it just sucks that her brain is going. We're not gone yet, but going.
Yeah.
Sucks. Yeah.
I've heard different people at different stages talk about it, and it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad that you guys can find humor in it, and I'm so glad that she's at where she's at. So
We're pretty good.
We're on you.
Pretty good about entertaining ourselves through it instead of just, Keisha, we've already answered that 17 times, But it's an art.
It is for sure.
Anyway, Abby Hernandez.
284 days. Is that what you said?
Yes, ma'am.
That is a long time in a windowless.
Yes.
Ugh.
So this was in North Conway, New Hampshire in 2013. So, again, it's this type of community where everything's safe, no one locks their doors, blah, 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 very cliche. People are on the porches waving, like they all know each other. It's in the White Mountains. It's just a few thousand people. So, very like safe, tight knit community, right? So, like a teenage girl walking home from school, completely ordinary, shouldn't be a
probably not the
national
only one.
incident or unsafe or whatever. But that's what she was doing on October 9th of 2013. She was 14 years old. She was just 3 days shy of her 15th birthday when this happened. She was a freshman at Kennett High School, known amongst classmates as like warm and athletic and kind. Like everybody loved her. She lived with her mom Xenia and her sister Sarah, and she was just this like super grounded kid. No history of problems. She wasn't dramatic, wasn't a runaway or, no conflicts or anything like that. No reason to just like peace out, but she still disappeared. So 7 p.m. comes that night. It comes and it goes. Abby did not come home. So her mom knew. Moms know.
Yeah.
Something kind of settled in her gut, like this isn't right. She texts Abby. She can't get an answer. She goes by the school. Abby's not there. She immediately files a missing persons report. Fortunately, the police took it seriously. And within days, the search for her would become one of the largest missing persons operations in New Hampshire history. So around the same time, panic is beginning to set in for her mom, Xenia. Abby was already in pretty serious danger. So the man named Nathaniel Kibbe, he'd been watching Abby. He was 34 years old.
Okay.
He lived in a mobile home in the small town of Gorman, about 30 miles north of Conway. And so to the outside world, he's like this petty criminal. He was known for printing counterfeit money and getting into confrontations with neighbors and law enforcement. He was just kind of like a shithead, right? He had a history of pretty troubling behavior. He'd once been arrested for grabbing a 16-year-old as she tried to board a school bus. Neighbors called him volatile, prone to anti-government rhetoric, and genuinely like unsettling. One neighbor even said, he's not a normal person. He's not right. So that afternoon, Kibbe pulls up alongside Abby, offers her a ride, and I don't even think she had time to respond. It was like swift. He'd already had his mind made up, and it was brutal. So he immediately forces her into his car at gunpoint, threatens to slit her throat if she resists. Again, she's not even 15 yet. He handcuffs her. He pulls a jacket over her head, deliberately destroys her cell phone. He crushes it. So obviously, police can't find her that way. When Abby, who is desperate to kind of get her bearings and figure out where he's taking her, tries to peek out the car window, he hits her with a stun gun.
Oh.
So he came loaded. He talk about the murder kit, right?
Yeah.
He had all the tools. So they go north about 30 minutes in the car, and then finally they stop. I imagine that's kind of it's when the real fear starts to kick in. Like when you're driving, at least he's got to operate a vehicle. He can't touch you. But so his property in Gorman, it sat in this very remote wooded area. So first he leads Abby inside his trailer, and she sees this assortment of tools and these "Don't Tread on Me" flag hanging on the wall. This is where he tapes her eyes shut. He wraps a T-shirt around her head and puts a motorcycle helmet over that.
Oh, jeez.
And that night he raped her for the first time. Afterward, he took her outside to a red metal storage container that was parked, if you will. I don't know if you park those things, but placed on his property, windowless. It had been soundproofed, and this is where he would lock her up. So for the next almost 9 months, this is where she was.
I'm sure you're going to get to this. Did he take her out periodically then? How big is this storage container again?
It looks like
a shed?
Maybe 2 sheds.
Okay.
Not as big as a back of a semi, but
I just was thinking because
a shipping container.
Okay.
So, you would put your stuff in if you're going to move to Belize and send your furniture over there.
Yes.
Not that I'm thinking about that.
She is.
Yeah.
But so did he have a bathroom and water in there or? Sorry. This is where my head went because I'm poor girl. Can you imagine having to go to the bathroom?
I want to say she had a bucket, but we'll figure that out.
Okay.
We'll see. I can't remember right now. A lot of times I do these
Way in advance.
I'll go, yeah. Okay, so the container was outfitted with cameras so he could keep an eye on her all the time. And to ensure she stayed quiet, he, I forgot about this part. He put a shock collar on her.
Oh.
The kind like you'd use on dogs. He put it around her neck. He told her to try and scream. Obviously, when it did, it shocked her. And he's like, okay, so now you know what it feels like. So basically, shut up. Call me master.
Ugh.
Isn't that gross? At least it wasn't daddy. No, I'm kidding. None of it's good. None of it's good. Okay, but his psychological control extended like well beyond the physical. He claimed to have a militia. Like he said he had this band of armed colleagues who would kill her family if she ever tried to escape or if she revealed his identity. Probably a lie, but she's this terrified teenager locked in a frickin' metal coffin, essentially. So she stayed compliant. So the days go on, blur into weeks, weeks blur into months, and Abby endured repeated sexual assault and torture and just complete isolation. She had no sunlight, so no windows, no freedom, no contact with the outside world. But she wasn't just hanging out, surviving and waiting in fear. She was thinking, she was plotting, she was strategizing. So from the very beginning, Abby was intentional. She made this calculated decision, and she says, quote, "I remember thinking to myself, okay, I got to work with this guy."
Right.
Right?
Yep.
This is a situation. I've got to adapt. I've got to be flexible. I've got to figure out how to get through this. She told Kibby that she didn't judge him. She told him everyone makes mistakes. She told him that if he let her go, she wouldn't say a word. And so she starts planting these seeds. And she was highly intelligent and patient, like her survival instinct. It's pretty remarkable. Some textbooks would say, people would say this was a textbook example of a trauma bonding as a survival mechanism.
Right.
I don't know that I think she was manipulating him personally. So former FBI profiler Brad Garrett later reflects, if I were going to write a textbook about how victims should deal with abductions, the first chapter would be about Abby.
Oh, nice.
It's always about bonding to the bad guy, even if it's not genuine. Because where we see like in like Stockholm syndrome or something, like you're genuinely bonding with your captor, right? You really do have feelings to some degree for the person who's placed you in the situation. I don't think this was the case with her.
No,
I think she's literally fawning, right? She's appeasing.
She's being smart because it's one of those things where if you can get them to see you too, as a human and as somebody who's like you're relating with them.
Yeah.
So they're going to start relating with you, hopefully, is the tactic.
Yep.
Yeah.
Clinical psychologist Rebecca Bailey added her own assessment to this case. She said, quote, "It's amazing that she was strategizing. It's very remarkable and speaks of her ability to get out of her terror state and problem solve." So I'll second that.
Yep.
So slowly, this starts to begin to work on him. Kibby starts to allow Abby more freedoms. Like she had access to books. He would let her out of the shed and into his trailer for brief periods of time. He begins to start to share things about himself, including like his troubled youth. He even let her watch news coverage of her own disappearance.
Oh, interesting.
During that time, she also wrote letters to her mother. I love this. So Kibby controlled the content of the letters carefully, demanding she write things to suggest that she had run away voluntarily. But Abby, she's a sharp cookie. So she tried to embed hidden signals in the letters. In one early draft, she had taken her fingernail and scratched the word help into the paper.
Oh.
But he caught it and he destroyed the letter. She kept trying though. Meanwhile, like throughout all of this, she just prayed. She said, "I remember I never said amen in my mind. I never wanted to end my prayers because I didn't want God to leave me."
Oh.
It's not the sweetest thing you've ever heard. So for months, Abby didn't know her captor's last name. She only knew him as Nate. Then one day, he gave her a cookbook to read. And so she opens the cover, and there written in ink was the name N. Kibby.
Oh.
And so she's like, "Who's Nate Kibby?" And he kind of freezes, and he's like, "How do you know my name? How'd you figure that out?" So it was a pivotal moment, and now she had something that she didn't have before, which was his identity. And obviously, if she got out, she could give that to the police. So months wore on. Kibby began enlisting Abby's help, imprinting counterfeit money. Like, he'd gotten in trouble for this before. The guy just doesn't learn. But she complied. She's helping. She's cooperating. And every time she cooperated, there was another deposit into this account of trust that she's building with him, right? So now we're in July of 2014. Everything changes. So this woman named Lauren Monday, she was a sex worker Kibby had met online. She'd accepted these counterfeit $50 bills from him for services rendered. So he basically gave her worthless paper. And when she tried to spend one at Walmart, she was arrested. So she calls Kibby. She's pissed. And she's like, dude, fair warning. And this is what would ultimately save Abby's life. So she tells him, whatever you're making in your damn basement, you better clean it up right now because they're coming for you, because she ratted them out.
Yeah.
So he panics. He begins like clearing all, the evidence out. And among the things he decided to clear out was Abby. So on the evening of July 20th, 284 days after she'd been taken, Kibby takes Abby in the car and he drives her back to North Conway. He drops her off at the same spot, close to the same spot where he had abducted her 9 months before, and he made her promise not to identify him. So she promised, and he drove away. So it worked. All of this trust,
Yeah.
she's helping him with his counterfeit activity, like it built that up, and so he did not want to hurt her or kill her. Like, he let her go.
Yeah.
So she stands on the side of the road, breathing like fresh air for the first time in nearly a year. Quote, I remember looking up and laughing, just being so happy. She said, oh my God, this actually happened. I'm a free person. I never thought it would happen to me, but I'm free. And then she walked the remaining mile to her mom's house.
I would have ran like hell.
Yeah. So Abby's mom and family, I just can't even imagine
No.
that reunion. Like, I don't think there are words, but within days, Abby told investigators everything, his location, the details of what happened, except for his name. And so she was, for some reason, like, she only disclosed the name to her mom. And so her mom's like, look that. Like, she goes and reports his name to the police later. But 1 week after her return, law enforcement descend on Kibby's property in Gorham. Pretty vanilla arrest. He didn't resist at all. He just walked out. They took him. He was charged with over 200 counts of various things. So in 2016, he pleaded guilty to 7 felony counts, including kidnapping and sexual assault, reportedly to spare Abby the ordeal of testifying at a full trial. He just pled guilty.
Yeah.
So he cared. He ended up caring about this girl. His defense team stated that his decision was solely driven by his desire to not put the victim or anybody else through the rigors and continued stress of a long and drawn-out trial. So again, I think it just speaks to that level of attachment he'd formed with her in this nearly year kidnapping situation. So now,
And it doesn't sound like he ever, like, his whole purpose wasn't necessarily to torture her. He just wanted her.
well, yeah, maybe the putting a T-shirt over. Can you imagine over her
Yeah.
head and then a freaking motorcycle helmet? Like,
But she didn't stay like that the whole time.
no, she didn't stay like that. But
It
still,
was just like the initial. But I just think, like, he just wanted he wanted her. And,
gross.
I know.
He could hire sex workers. Hire sex workers, dude. Pay him with your counterfeit money. I mean, whatever. Leave 15-year-old girls alone. Anyway, nearly 2 years after walking out of that shed, 17-year-old now, Abby Hernandez stands in a Carroll County courtroom and delivers her impact statement. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through this. I'll highlight it because if I read it, I'm going to cry.
Okay.
She just basically says she often thinks about Kibby and what he did to her and impacts her life on a daily basis. She says, now I'm attending school. I'm not afraid to let anyone know what my last name is. I am afraid to let anybody know. She's like, she really tries to navigate the world carefully and be anonymous. She tells him she didn't put him in prison. You put yourself in prison. So she's like, wasn't my choice for you to threaten me or, did this, you did it. This is on you. And, she just says, but there are things in life that she appreciates because of him. Like, I never look at sunshine in the same way again. I never think about fresh air in the same way again. So it's just like this really deep, profound victim impact statement. And her mom also addressed Kibbe directly. He's like, I just don't know. I wish I could hear from you. Why? Like, can you please tell us why you did it? He never gave an answer. And I'm sure moms, would need to know that, but I don't know.
I don't think that he probably wouldn't be able to verbalize that answer other than he just wanted her. I mean, obviously he was watching her. He saw something in her and he thought she was beautiful and he had to have her, and that's how he chose to do it.
Well, he was sentenced to 45 to 90 years in prison, so he's most certainly going to die behind bars. Today, she lives in Maine. Abby does. She's a mom herself now. She's a hairstylist. And then in 2022, she served as an executive producer on a Lifetime television film about her story, which is called Girl in the Shed, the kidnapping of Abby Hernandez. And she got to work very closely with the actress who portrayed her. She's spoken publicly about being in captivity. And it's perhaps the most extraordinary thing about Abby is not that she survived, but that she emerged from 9 months of this darkness and chose to like look up and embrace and be grateful and all those things. And I think, it's just really a good story about the will to live, the will to take a heinous, awful situation and not let it define you. And I just have so much admiration for people who can do that.
Oh, absolutely.
So she outwitted this creep, and props. Yeah. Impressive.
It is impressive. I'm just so glad that she got out, and it could have been so much worse. So, as we know, it could have been so much worse.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad that, she's got a good head on her shoulders, it sounds like. She's got good faith, which I also think that hope and that faith got her through a lot of that. So. Whew.
Well,
Crazy.
What do you think the hardest part would be being in captivity? Like the fear or the isolation or like the mind games or,
I think it'd probably be, I think it would be depend on who your captor is. You know what I mean? Like entirely it would depend on who your captor is and what they're.
Are you being tortured? Are they, yeah.
Yep. So I think that, but yeah, I mean, I think you would spend for me personally, I would just spend, like those things you say, these normal amenities that we have, just that hope. I wish I could just go home. You know what I mean? Like this longing and trying to keep your wits about you.
Well, we hear some of those stories where like, it's not only the manipulation and trying to have them form a bond with you, but like leaving DNA. I can't remember the name of the girl now, but this was the one in Australia we covered with before the rebrand.
Oh, okay.
And she was leaving like DNA anywhere she could, like find some part of me in case I don't survive this. And she ended up surviving it, but her story was so outrageous they didn't believe her at first. They thought she was just this crazy young girl making up this stuff, and everything she said and like the DNA and the evidence that she left and all the details, like 100% checked out.
Yep.
It's like, why do we not? And I get it. There are some people who play the victim because they want attention, but I don't think that's most people.
No.
But yet our default as a society, maybe it's getting better now, but it was for a long time like, it's their fault. They're making it up. Like we don't believe them, especially if it's a woman.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I don't know why either. And especially if it's a young person too, I think we discredit them, that they're just lying.
Yeah.
We shouldn't.
Why can't the default be, I believe you, I'm going to trust but verify?
Yes, until something else
Especially
proves it
if
wrong.
it's criminal and you need to like, try to prosecute somebody. Trust but verify, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Telling the
All
truth
time.
until proven otherwise.
And I know that there's some, it's like the little boy who cried wolf. That happens sometimes. You've got kids or people who tell stories after stories after stories, and then, now they really do need help. And
Too bad,
everyone's
so
like,
sad.
you've cried wolf
Later
so many
days.
times, I
Yeah.
don't believe you this time.
Yeah.
And now you really need them. And
That's fair, but I really don't think, yeah. It was not the case in that case.
No, I would like to think and hope that I could be similar in a situation like this where it would be, because I think you have to kind of it takes somebody who is able to kind of like take yourself out of the worry, freak out zone, like just losing your love and mind the whole entire time, to going, okay, why am I here? What does this person want? Like, how do we get around this? Do you know what I'm saying?
Well,
like,
I think they
who is
thrive
this
off
person?
of the power dynamic too, right?
Yep.
So what if this is not funny. These are not funny situations, but I have a really comical situation going on in my head right now. So what if you just out crazy these motherfuckers?
Oh, and they're like, I am over you. You're driving me crazy.
Yeah. Can you just out crazy them?
Maybe, but then I worry, like, are they going to take you out? You know, all of a sudden you start hearing a shovel dig next to
trying
your
to think
shed. You're
of-
like,
I don't know. I have this little like niggling of a story that I've heard. It's not big enough to have covered, but there was like a mom, like an older mom that, or a grandma or someone that some thug was trying to pull one over on, and she just tore after him, and he was just like, it was a stick up or something.
Okay.
Like it, yeah. And she's just like, I am not going to, blah, 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 you know, and they're like, that's not the response they thought. They wanted someone to cower in fear and have that.
Yeah.
And it didn't work out how it played out in their head, and they left.
they're like, never mind. This is a terrible
Left.
idea.
So I'm just
You're
thinking,
annoying.
I don't know. Maybe there should be some classes on like how to outmaneuver the. I mean, this is one tactic, but can you out crazy them?
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like some of the people that we've talked about on this podcast are so awful and sick in the
BTK,
head.
I don't
Yeah,
know
like
how
where
you'd
it's
out
like,
crazy that
I
one.
don't think you can they've got their mindset on doing really horrible things.
Yeah.
This guy didn't. So that's the difference.
I mean,
too.
like, okay, they want someone to fear them and be under their control. What if you just start giggling maniacally? What if you have like this and you sound like something out of a horror movie? Like wearing mascara, and you make sure you run it
Right.
down your eyes so you look like a raccoon, and you just like, you just
start scaring them.
yeah, and you start talking in little voices and like make your, sound like you have multiple personalities. Like
Yeah.
demons are going to come out of you or something. I mean, it might make them think twice.
Yeah, they're like, never mind. Go, get out, leave, fast as you can.
Cut you loose right now. I don't know. If anyone knows of a story of that where that actually worked, please let us know. But in the meantime, thank you guys for writing in your crisis hotlines. These are kind of funny. They're kind of getting a funny theme, and that's fine. They can be serious too. So far, we're getting mostly funny ones. Okay. All right, so this is Jan. Every time I argue with my husband, he says, "You're acting crazy," and starts recording me.
Oh,
I'm starting to feel like the unreliable narrator in my own life story. How do I win this psychological game?
are you acting crazy?
I don't know. I think you stick a freaking phone and start recording me when we're having a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how many phones he's gone through, because I'd be
Oh.
like, that phone? Sorry, you get to replace it now, buddy.
I don't know.
Stick a phone in my face.
There have been times where I wish in my arguments that I could play back and be like, do you see how you're talking to me?
Yeah.
Like, super rude. Like, I was not elevated. I was just having a normal conversation, and you went from here to here. So I get that part of it, but at the same hand, it's super disrespectful on his behalf.
But it could be gaslighting too. Because I
could
think
be.
even if you're just like having, hey, I'm passionate about the thing we're talking about, and you start recording me, I'm going to get pissed.
Yeah.
Now I'm acting crazy because I'm mad at you.
Yeah.
Because you're being a jerk. I don't know. So how do you win? I don't know. Start starting with a Zen Buddhist monk or
Yeah.
something, and like just.
I know. Well, it's not like, so that's what I was going to say. Put your phones away. You know what I mean? Like, completely. Like, if you're going to, okay, I want to talk with you. I'm upset. We're going to have a conversation. And it's like, phones are out of here. It's just you and me. Old fashioned.
I guess I'd want to know why he's doing it. Is he doing it because he wants to get you ratcheted up? Is he doing it because he wants proof? Is he doing it because, like, has he been telling you this and he's trying to get it like you said so he can show you proof that see, this is, when you're calmed down, this is how you're acting. Or is he gaslighting you?
Yeah, but if he's gaslighting you and you're not acting crazy.
But if it's like me and you stick a phone in my face and start recording me,
That's like antagonizing you.
yup.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to be as chill as I just was before you started doing that, right?
Yeah.
Like now yeah. I don't know.
Start singing show tunes. That'll shut him up.
Show
That's what I
tunes?
do. Yeah. I just start singing. Like when I start getting really like, but I don't want to like start freaking out. I just start singing.
What's your go-to?
It's in the moment because I don't sing like an actual show tune. I just start singing like whatever I am
You're making
yelling
stuff
about.
up?
So I'm like, if you don't start doing the dishes right now, and the whole family is like, she's mad. She is like next level. Hurry, everybody! And it's like, get her to stop singing. Like this is what I do because it's like. Why are you singing like that? Mom, stop. You're scaring me. I'm going to keep on going until it's done.
That's the best. I think that's the best advice we can give you.
Yeah, just start singing your yells, I guess. I don't know.
And then he could record that.
Absolutely. You could do opera style even. Really get that emotion in there.
Figaro.
Yeah.
I need lyrics. I'm
Yeah.
like, get the phone out of my face.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm going to hit you over the head.
Absolutely. I just feel like, I don't know. I think that does two things is it kind of makes you laugh a little bit. Like I don't know. I just try to put humor on things like that. So
You're good about that. I'm trying to find my humor with the cat lady, but
that one's tough.
yeah.
I am proud of my husband yesterday though, because he mowed the neighbor's ditch, and then even up their driveway a little bit. And it's it's kind of one of those things where I think sometimes with neighbors, even when we don't like every little thing that they do, but he was like, I bet they don't have a lawnmower. And I was like, you want to know what? I bet they don't. And if they do, because they're a little bit older than we are, I'm like, and if they do, they may not have the capabilities to get out there because it's a lot of property.
Yeah.
I mean, it's acreage.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and he's got a riding lawnmower. I go, you know what would be super nice is if you just did it. And so he did. I was like, see, you could be a nice guy.
Yeah.
So sometimes, I don't know, that doesn't really go into your cat situation. I don't know how you can be a nice, I'm not really sure. Get her some catnip brownies.
Well, I did finally have to call the city.
Yeah. And that's okay.
And it hasn't happened again, but I did tell them, said, you're welcome to tell her I do have a trap. And if it doesn't stop, I will be forced to trap the cat.
Yep.
And so he probably told her that, but I haven't had to deploy the trap because I haven't seen the cat. But just take care of your pets. I mean,
absolutely. Well, that's not a hard request.
I mean, I don't think so.
So.
I don't think so. Anyway.
Well, until next time.
That's all I got.
That's all we got. So
5-star reviews, help us grow, do all this stuff.
Absolutely.
Send us crisis hotline questions at hello@crisisandconsequences.com. If you have episode ideas for things to research, that'd be great too.
Yeah.
I was just listening to a podcast on Marilyn Monroe.
Okay.
And I didn't realize that her death had some suspicious things to it. Mm-hmm. So I was like, maybe that would be an interesting one to
cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're kind of thinking about, like, if the reviews can start coming in, then, like, every so many, like, a block of reviews, we'll do a bonus episode. But we need to see some activity.
Some love.
We're either doing so good you just can't be bothered to do reviews, or nobody's listening. No, I'm kidding. There are people listening. But we appreciate you if
yes,
you are.
We do.
But, just a quick little click would really be helpful. So
yeah. We could even set the bar low, like 25 reviews.
In a week?
Yeah.
Okay.
25 reviews. They can be any. I mean, obviously we want 5-star, but you can give it as many stars as you want. Every review counts.
Yeah.
You don't even have to say anything in it. You have the option where you can be like, love you guys, keep it up, you suck, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, or just give us stars, however many stars you want to, and that still counts as a review.
Yes.
I'll take it.
Something.
25 of them in a week.
Okay, I'll figure out what we're going to do then if we do a bonus episode.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Sounds good.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.